Welcome to the Just Music Podcast. I am your host, Jalen. Marco isn't on this episode of the Just Music Podcast. However, I'm really excited to interview this guest that we have, as she's super talented singer, songwriter, and she's also a business owner, entrepreneur, and she has been really just doing the thing with the music, doing a lot of shows, coming out to a lot of different events out here in the Charleston, South Carolina area. We have SunRhe. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Listen, I want to say thank you for coming on the Just Music Podcast, because it's pretty cool how we met, because when was this? This was
March, I think. Like
yeah,
March.
March. SunRhe and we met at an event hosted by my frat brother, one of the most one of the best DJs I know, DJ Scrib. Shout out to him, who we've also had on the podcast. And I saw that you were in the lineup, and I was like, well, I'm gonna definitely stay to see, check her out, hear her music. And I was very impressed. I was like, she can sing. She has a nice stage presence. And I went and listened to your Lavender project, which we'll definitely talk about. And really enjoyed it. So yeah,
Thank
of course. So what we always ask, artists, anybody involved in music when they come on is, so what got you to this point in life? If somebody were to ask you, what made you want to pursue music as a passion, as a career, what would your answer be?
That's such a it's not a difficult question, but it's a pretty like straightforward answer. Like my mother always encouraged me to be musically involved, and she loves telling this story that, I started singing as soon as, I was about 2 or 3 years old, was already making up songs, and I think she saw the potential in that and was just very encouraging about making sure that I was involved in choir and, doing theater and always in some type of drama club or extracurricular that helped me stretch my voice. So it just kind of seemed like a predetermined path, almost like just very much in alignment with things I already expressed an interest in very early on. So it just seemed like a no-brainer to continue on this path. And I think every musician can relate that there's like moments where you kind of second guess if that's something that you actually want to pursue wholeheartedly, or if it's just, a gift that you want to keep to yourself. But I've always found a way to gravitate back towards this path. So it's just kind of like I'm in a stage now where I'm accepting that this is what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, I've always been kind of on this pursuit. Everything's led to this point. So
No, I really like that story. Singing ever since you could remember, ever since you were a child. And then, because I did a little bit of research on you. I read through the interviews and your articles, and I noticed how you mentioned, like, yeah, like you did drama club, you did choir. So like with your music, like listening to your music, I feel like I'm in a space where, there's a lot of ambiance, there's a lot of it's very personal, it's very intimate, and it's a little bit theatrical in a way. Do you think that's something that comes from being a part of drama club, or?
I think so. I think drama club helps you add this element, a deeper element of storytelling to songwriting. Um, and even when I'm not giving very straightforward lyrics, if nothing else, I'm trying to paint a picture. I am trying to create an ambiance, and everything's up for interpretation when you're listening. Um, so, my lyrics themselves are kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? I have a very like poetic style of writing. Um, but I feel like storytelling doesn't have to be in such a direct form all the time. Like you can paint a picture and allow somebody to place themselves in that story and relate to your music in their own way. But I think being in theater like growing up a theater kid definitely added to the drama of how I wanted to speak about the things I wanted to talk about, especially like with love songs. Like I'm a very dramatic love songwriter.
Yeah, yeah, no, for real. I can identify with that, and I hear it in your music. Because like, so like just to get into it, like the Lavender LP that you put out, that was in 2020. Yeah, 2020. So that's your latest full length project, and then like you continue to release music afterwards. So like because when I listen to the Lavender LP, it's 31 minutes, but like in those 31 minutes, I feel like I'm going through these emotions of uh introspection,
Mm,
also like reflection, um, love, and also just having a good time because there's some songs on here that like make you want to dance and just
for
have
sure.
some fun a little bit, like dance movement therapy. I feel like I'm going to a dance and yoga class, and I've never been to either one, but
Okay.
I feel like this project explores a lot of topics. So I guess like what was it like putting together this project for you? Because you released this in a year when the entire world was shut down.
Yeah. Lavender took almost 3 years in the making too. I was putting out some songs like something like Lavender. I believe I put out in 2017 or 2018. Trance I put out in 2017. So I was creating this music not necessarily with a direction or a concept in mind, but I feel like when COVID happened, I had a lot of time to myself to do the introspection that you were speaking on and really figure out what type of message I wanted to, deliver to my audience. Like, how much of myself was I ready to actually share with people? And everything was very intentional, like, even with the cover art and the subject matter, was really just trying to bring people into my space. So, there is a lot of love songs on there. A lot of it is centered around the subject of love, but like you said, there is some up-tempo stuff on there. Like I really wanted to show one, my versatility as an artist and kind of give people a sense of what my personal music taste was and the type of sounds I gravitate towards. But also just wanting to kind of give this soft introduction to these different layers of myself and my personality and my experiences. So I was really grateful that I had that time during COVID to really space out what I wanted to say, what songs were going to actually make the project. And I think me taking that 2.5 years to work towards that made the project a lot more intentional.
Mm.
And that's something that I'm still very proud of that project. It'll be 4 years old this year, and I still am very grateful and happy to just like run back those songs every now and then. And I'm like, I really, I did that.
Bro, I think you should absolutely be proud of it because it listening to the music and then hearing you talk about it, you can tell like you said, you were very intentional with this. Because we live in a time now where some artists they put out music, and it feels like it's just kind of run of the mill, like it's here today and gone tomorrow type of thing. But when you're an artist who takes your craft very, very seriously, and you want to put together something that you know not only sounds good to the people but sounds good to you and something
Mm,
you feel is going to last, uh and I definitely get that vibe here with this project. So you put out the Lavender LP, so you may have multiple, but what's your favorite song off the project?
there's definitely multiple, and they're all for varying reasons. Dance movement therapy is definitely a favorite. That's probably the audience favorite too. Um, Fresh air for sure. Um, I'm like, I could name all the songs on the project low key. Like, I have I guess I'm biased, but I have a